You see Caleb Williams on the left side of your screen, Jayden Daniels on the right side of your screen. The top two potential prospects, Drake May is right in the mix as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about him. But Caleb Williams is Matt Miller's top quarterback prospect in this year's draft, followed by Jayden Daniels. Those two QBs also happen to be the last two Heisman Trophy winners, Daniels this past season and Williams in 2022. I caught up with both guys earlier today.
It's great, it's a lot of great guys that have the option to be another number one pick. Not even me, Caleb, Drake May, those type of guys. So it's a blessing being in the conversation with those guys. They're two great human beings outside of football.
Is it more important to be the number one overall pick, or is fit and how that's going to look for what's coming down the pipe for you matter the most?
I'd say both are important to me. I'd say that, me getting on the team and then being in the right fit, I would say I would put it just right above being the number one pick, but being number one pick is really cool also.
Other great quarterbacks, so it's tough to just pinpoint one thing why I should be the number one pick because there's so many other people that deserve it. I'll just say my playmaking ability. Obviously, you got some freak monsters out there that are running very fast that could chase you down. So be able to get away from them, extend plays, and make plays down the field.
These 10-minute, 20-minute things are just they're testing your mental. They're trying to see if you fit for their organization, and if you can do it. They're testing your mental. They're testing how you are, who you are. They're asking questions about that. So it went really well, I believe, and we'll see where all of that goes.
If you end up being picked by the Bears, what would it be like to be in Chicago?
It'll be dope. This Chicago, obviously, there's a lot of greats that play professional sports in Chicago, so it'll be dope.
What did you take away from the Bears specifically?
Yeah, that they're serious about getting in position, whether it's they keep Justin or me, getting in position to go win games, and so that's the main takeaway that I've gotten away from them.
I just got to say really quickly, the NFL is in great hands with the future of the quarterback position already, but with these new prospects joining the league, they're dynamic, they are smart, they are exciting, and it was really fun to spend some time with them today. Mina, if the Bears are going to talk themselves into the number one overall pick and drafting Jayden Daniels, why would it be?
Oh, man, the dynamism. Okay, so Jayden Daniels this year led in every statistical category. That offense was a juggernaut. But something that struck out to me watching his tape over the last week that you can't always see in the numbers is the impact that his rushing ability, the threat of it has on defenses. It's the same thing when you look at the All-22 for Lamar Jackson. Suddenly you see these wide open throwing windows at the second level. You see linebackers being pulled on a string by his movements. You see defensive ends reluctant. They're staying wide because they're so afraid he's going to keep the ball. That doesn't necessarily show up in the numbers, but it makes it easier for him, and it is going to make it easier for him at the next level as well.
Yeah, that ability to impact the entire game, even when you aren't directly impacting it, right? I think for him, it's so nip and tuck right now between him and Caleb. I think now the conversation becomes what really would be the separator for these two guys? If you're sitting there going, look, they both bring some very unique qualities to our organization on the field. What is the separator? And see, and this is what Ryan Poles keeps talking about that he's wrestling with. It's the personal and football character evaluation and how that relates to how he's going to be as a professional when he's away from the facility and how he's going to be as a professional when he's in the facility. Because quite honestly, when you get to the top of the draft like this, that's always the separator between guys who are average to good, good to great, great to Hall of Fame. It's that commitment to the game, the ability to handle distractions outside of the facility, and your ability to withstand the grind that comes along with being an NFL quarterback and having these kind of expectations put on you that come with being the top pick of the draft, man. I mean, you're the top pick. You have so much spotlight on you, so much scrutiny put on you. You better be rock solid, and that's what teams are going to have to try and find out which one of these guys can really handle that.
Yeah, a lot of confidence amongst all three of those top guys. But Matt, one of the things that I talked to Jayden Daniels about today was his size, because we've heard people potentially point to concerns there. Do you think teams will be worried about him being too slight?
I mean, I think there's be some teams that look at him and say, there's no way you're 210 pounds, but I would look at the tape and say he rushed for over 1,000 yards in each of the last two seasons in the SEC, where they have some NFL-sized defenders. We saw him running through tackles against Alabama, so I don't know that it's as much of a concern as it is almost just like a cosmetic thing. Oh, wow, he's tall and slender. It didn't keep him from winning the Heisman Trophy this year, and it didn't keep him from being a great runner. As Mina pointed out, defenses have to respect everything he does with his legs.
Here's what I'll say, though, about him running through those tackles. he needs to stop that
Yeah, I
sometimes
would like him
in
to
the
do
NFL
that,
because
yeah.
those tackles will
For
be
sure.
made in the NFL where the players are bigger and
Yeah,
stronger.
and you know, and the last thing I'll say is this: I can't remember there being a guy in the NFL or a quarterback in the NFL that people say he got hurt because he's skinny. It's usually because you're going to get hurt regardless if your leg gets rolled up on or you take a headshot that's illegal or something like that. So I think this gets way overblown at this time of year because we're always looking for reasons to kind of like stack people.
Jayden told me God gave me this frame, and it's
Yeah.
done me really proud so far.